All right.
Welcome to the Hockey in the Fort podcast, the Enforcer series, with Nick, Don, Ed, and Cam. Our show is sponsored by Full Circle Grill and Barbecue, located inside Two Towns Brewing Company, just 30 seconds south of the Ice House on Wells Street. For crazy good barbecue, check out Full Circle Grill and Barbecue. Tonight's guest is a two-time AHL Calder Cup champion, and his professional stats include over 2,500 career penalty minutes. His pugilistic prowess has carried him to the NHL and arenas around the globe. Please welcome Josh Gratton. Now to start tonight's show, here's Nick, Don, Ed, and Cam. Take it away, boys.
All right, everybody, welcome to a new episode of Hockey in the Fort, the Enforcer series. Like the intro said, we're joined with former NHL tough guy Josh Gratton. He's got a bunch of stories, and we have a bunch of your questions lined up for him as well. So we'll go ahead and get started with him.
Well, back to the intro real quick. Cam's a pussy, and he didn't come out.
Oh, yeah. He's got college homework yet, so he's a youngin'.
Wasn't graduation last weekend?
Shut up.
How are you doing homework after graduation?
So, anyways, welcome to the show, Josh. Nice to have you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm excited to shoot the shit with you guys.
So, let's go ahead and get started. What got you into hockey? How old were you? And then take us through the career.
My family got me into hockey. My grandfather was a coach, a professional. He coached like Colonial League. I don't know if you guys know about that, back in the day. And then just brought up, it was pretty much through our whole family all played hockey there, and that was pretty much it. And growing up, I was a rink rat with him, and it just fell through it with it there.
So you started out playing Little League and stuff like that, and midget nights and all that. Then you went into juniors, right? Yeah,
I got drafted. I didn't get drafted. I went on as a walk-on to Sudbury when I was 16, and then made the team, and then played in Sudbury for a year. Went to Kingston and finished my OHL years in Windsor.
I played against that team.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
You played in the old barn, though, right?
Yeah, it was the old barn. Yeah, we had a pretty tough team. Me, Cam Jansen were on there. Who else? Tim Gleason from around that area. So we had a good team, but a pretty tough team too. So it was good.
As a goalie, I hated that barn.
Yeah, it's a tough barn to play in. That's for sure.
Goddamn fans are right on top of you.
Yeah, spitting on you.
Well, I got beer dumped on me. The one OHL game I actually played in, I got a beer dumped on me.
I believe it.
It was awesome. So,
yeah.
All right. So after juniors, where'd you head?
I went to San Diego for a tryout in San Diego, or actually signed contract in San Diego with Steve Martinson was the coach. He was a bit of an enforcer back in the day, so he was really good to me there. And
coach is Allen now.
Yeah. He's a super successful coach. He likes his tough guys back in the day. He always had a couple. I played with Billy Tibbetts back in the day there, and I was only there for 30 games, but I think I had probably over 200 penalty minutes. I just fought my way out of there and got a call up to Cincinnati for the rest of the year there, and I played the American League the rest of the year. After that, I signed my first NHL contract with Philadelphia. So it was my first year. It was a grind, a lot of fighting, but it was the fastest way out of that league for sure.
Yeah. That was the old school days that we all love and miss.
Yeah, I think everybody does. They enjoyed the game that way.
Yeah. Well, our town is known for if you don't punch somebody, we don't like you. So
yeah.
You don't put up 50 and then punch somebody. You're not wanting to.
I always wanted to play in Fort Wayne. I had a couple good buddies that played there. Cody Soul he was there for a long time playing there. He raved about it. He loved it over there. He said the fans were awesome. And I never did get a chance to play there, but unfortunately.
Who else do you know?
I know Morasti played there for a bit.
Who
else? Yeah, that's all that coming off the top of my head right now. Hauser. Was it the goalie Hauser?
Oh, yeah. Hauser?
Yeah, Kevin Kaminsky played here, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a history. He loved it here.
Yeah, you played with Todd Reardon?
Yeah, I did, but I don't. That was my first year, and he was so much older than me, so we didn't really like. Not many stories for him to remember me, or I to remember him. Also, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was here some years before you.
Oh yeah.
Playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he spent a short little cup of tea here.
So if we tie this back into the comments, anything, you got any good Cody Soul stories?
Oh, Solzy, nothing really too good. We used to just chirp him about him cutting his hair all the time in a mohawk and stuff. He's from London or Woodstock area, so we would work out and train together a lot. And there's not too many drinking stories. I didn't really get too many nights out with him to get a good story out for you guys. Unfortunately, though.
Did you ever box with him at all?
No, never. No, he's too big for me to box.
Say he's every bit of what was Cody 6'6", 6'7"?
Something like
Yeah, he's about 6'7", 250 probably. He's a big boy that can move, man. He's a very athletic guy.
He watches this show quite a bit, so it'll be fun.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Does he?
we'll probably have him on too. So
Yeah, definitely. He's a good guy.
He left Fort Wayne this year. He's not here anymore, and we didn't really have any issues with him when he played in Cincinnati. But when the bastard went to Florida, he wanted to fight everybody. So
I know he wanted to go back to Fort Wayne. I know he really liked it there. I'm not sure exactly the situation what happened, but I know that he was a bit disappointed that he didn't come back because he thought he had talked very highly of Fort Wayne. That's for sure.
Yeah, everybody loves it. But we pack 8,000 in every night. So
is that what it is? Every night.
Yeah. Our average was like 8,060 this year.
Oh wow.
Until we got shut down.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got a couple of questions from people.
Yeah.
One guy was asking about your fight with Emery.
Oh, Razor. He's one of my good buddies. We didn't know each other when we fought, though. He got the better of me, and he's a loose cannon on the ice. But he's one tough guy, and unfortunately, he passed. He was one of my good buddies of mine, and it's a sad situation. But I had nothing but respect for him as a goalie, as a player, and he's an even better person. And it's sad, but we all remember him with all the good things. And that fight between me and him is definitely a memory that comes up quite often. So it's stored in the memory bank, that's for sure. And unfortunately, he got the better of me, so he always used to rip on me about it. So I never did get to let it down. He never really let it down there, unfortunately. But it's all in good fun now.
What got him going after you in that fight?
I think they were beating us like 7-3, 7-4. I got put on it. It was like I scored with like maybe 30 seconds left, and then went down the ice, and there was a play in the end zone, and he slashed me in the back of the leg. So I turned around and speared him, and then all of a sudden he came charging at me, and I was like, "Oh boy, what's going on?" I was waiting for Gratton or someone else to jump in, and instead Razor just fed me my lunch instead.
Yeah, we watched that video earlier today. Actually, he kind of did you pretty good.
Yeah, he did. At first I was ashamed, but then I realized how tough and strong he actually is. So, and he's a beauty. Yeah,
he's fantastic. I miss watching that guy like none other. Yeah. Especially when he charged down Holtby in the corner and Holtby turtled up. That was pretty cool.
If Razor could fight every game, I think he would have.
He was kind of the modern day Hextall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what a lot. I would agree with you there.
But what about that fight with McGratton and it was juniors, wasn't it?
No, it was an American League. The long one you guys were talking about?
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just one of those things that we were just trying to knock each other out, and neither of us did. And we just went on and going after it for about a minute and a half there, just chucking bombs. And my head had some pretty big welts on the top of my head, that's for sure.
Yeah, that guy's probably one of the biggest I've ever watched fight.
Yeah, he was back in my area, like growing up in juniors and going into the first couple of years in the American League. He was definitely the king of that league then, and he just got tougher and tougher as he went on.
So somebody asked a question, who was the actual toughest guy you think you ever squared off against?
Toughest guy. There's so many tough guys. It's hard to say. I know Darcy Hordichuk probably threw the hardest. That stunned me the most the one time. But toughest, I can't just say one tough guy. Morasti's tough. He can take a punch. There's so many guys. Just to pinpoint one guy, it's virtually impossible because anybody can beat anybody with one lucky punch. So it's really tough. But Dennis Bonby was a tough guy to fight. He probably was one of the guys that I fought the most in my career, and we had some good tilts. And he's a gamer too. So he's been around for such a long time. I always had a lot of respect for him to do it that long and grind it out and be as tough as he is. So I would probably say Dennis Bondby if I had to really pick one person, toughest for a guy that did it as long as he did. So I have utmost respect for that guy.
What about Colton Orr?
Oh yeah, Orzy too. He's got a heavy hand, and he can take a punch too. Scary. We had a couple good ones. His right hand is deadly. If he gets you flush, you're probably going down 9 times out of 10. That's for sure.
I think when we had Janney on last week, he said that Orzy was probably the hardest guy he ever had to fight.
Yeah, I could see.
Too.
Yeah, he has a metal hand. I think he has steel in his one hand too, but I don't know. But Colton Orr, he's a scary guy too. I wouldn't want to be fighting him every night either.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Last question that we got from people is any team that you wished you played for but never had a chance.
I wish I had got a chance to play for a Canadian club, just because of the media and how much they liked fighting. But I love my time in Philadelphia, love my time in Phoenix. But if I had to pick, I would be a Canadian club, and if I had to pick out of one of those, it would probably be Toronto or Vancouver.
Really, I can see Toronto.
Yeah, it's close to home. Grew up watching them, so
yeah.
What's that?
I said Vancouver's so far from home for you. I kind of.
Yeah, I know, but they have awesome fans, and they just the city's awesome all around.
Vancouver's amazing. Just watch out for the riots when they lose the cup.
Yeah, right.
You played there with Philly. They're known for the Broad Street Bullies. Did that legacy have any effect on your play or anything?
You know what? We always had a tough team, and the year we won the Calder Cup, Philly always tries to mold themselves as a tough place to play. We played at the Spectrum, and we had a heavy team. Like we had me, Riley Cote, Todd Fedor, Ben Eager, even some other guys that off the top of my head, Wade Skolny. Like we had a tough team. Every team in the American League, the lockout year, had a couple guys, but that team that we had, like, just could at any given night there would be a couple heavyweights on every team, but we were definitely by far the toughest team, and we ended up winning a championship from having tough, skilled guys too. So I believe that being in Philly and the way they play and the management and how they do consider themselves Broad Street Bullies still in a sense this way, the way they mold their young guys. It's definitely a fun place to play, especially for myself. And they're really good to me. All the management is really good to me. So we had a lot of fun there, I'll tell you. And when we won the championship, it's stories that probably better off not talking about, but it was a lot of fun. That's for sure.
I don't know, man. We got some blue stories last week from Janney on the cup. That's going to be hard.
Oh, yeah.
Puking in trucks and falling off floats and dumping golf carts to go home. Yeah, he had some interesting stuff there.
Yeah, Big Janny. Me and him in junior, we played together and we got in a fight off ice actually there. I think I just mentioned that to you guys a little bit earlier where you're talking. But he's an awesome guy. He's doing really well for himself, and we fought a couple times on the ice, but we get along. We're really good buddies. We stay in touch a little bit, and unfortunately, he got the better of me off ice, so he wins.
So we got to have this story. What the hell happened?
I think we were just banged up drinking, and we were juniors. I don't know. I think I might have kicked his new truck not by accident, being an idiot. I think I kicked his new truck, and he came at it and just gave it to me, beat me up pretty good.
I can just see the look on his face too.
Oh yeah. I think he might even. I'm pretty sure he took his shirt off too, just to beat me up. So, just like he takes all his gear off in the penalty box.
Yeah, he told us he never did anything crazy either.
Yeah, he's a good guy though.
Uh-oh, you lost your video, Nick.
It's the camera. Can you still hear us?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Oh, good.
You got to plug that camera in.
All right.
Hold on, technical difficulty.
Yeah, that's all good.
It needs charged. It's unplugged. I wondered what it was like battery packs. Like, what the fuck is that?
I thought that was my phone.
You saw that too? Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I saw the battery pack. I was thinking the laptop.
I was too. I checked it. This is our first Zoom one. We usually do this live stream.
Yeah, it's all good.
So, but
And see him. They don't need to see
yeah, they don't have to see us. We're ugly. So one question we always ask, who is the most annoying player you ever played against? Who got under your skin the most?
Louie Robitaille, I think, back in the day. I don't know if you guys know him or not.
Oh, I know the name.
Yeah, he played in Hershey. And he was a pretty good rat. Sean Avery was good at it too. Petrovicki, I think it's Ronald Petrovicki, that played in Pittsburgh. He was a pretty big pest too. But there wasn't really one or two guys. There's a few, and then if they did bug you, or you just get send someone after them if you could. But Louie Robitaille was pretty big rat. He would never step up and fight either.
So he was a turtle.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So there's two guys I wanted to ask you about. The first one is Avery, since I know you played against that shithead.
Yeah.
I like the guy. He's a cool guy, but man, he's just a prick on the ice. What was it like playing against him?
He didn't care. He'd say whatever he wants, did whatever he wants, and then he would only fight if you wanted to fight. So it was really frustrating to play against him. Like I asked him to fight a couple times, and no, and he just run his mouth and do what he does. But you can't. If you do anything, you just get to take a penalty on him. He was good at what he did, and he's an awesome guy away from the rink. I guess like he's entertaining. He's an entertainer, and that's what he was doing when he was playing too. So he's done really well for himself as well. So can't really chirp the guy too much. He's lived in New York, doing really well for himself. So he did something right.
Chasing people on bicycles.
Yeah, right.
That shit's. I don't know how that guy hasn't gotten shot at yet.
I know.
Next guy I have to ask about is what about Carcillo? Did you ever play against Dan?
I played against him when he was in Wilkes-Barre. I lived with him in Phoenix. He was a good buddy of mine. I've been in touch with him a little bit, not too much recently, but we kind of have been talking a little while. But Carbon, he was a good player. He was good at what he did. He was a rat when he played, and he's done really well for himself too. And he's advocating for things that he believes in. And I respect what he's doing. I don't know if I 100% agree with some of the stuff, but everybody can do what they want, and he's doing what he believes in, and good on him. Yeah,
he's definitely advocating pretty heavily.
Yeah, and
it's hard to agree with some of it that he's doing, but
yeah, everybody has their opinions, and that's how they want to express them is up to them. And
yeah,
I don't really have. It doesn't affect me either way, so I just go about and listen and see. I don't have any opinion on it either way.
Right. So when it comes to that discussion, like the fighting and hockey and stuff, what's your view on it? How do you feel about it, since you were one of the guys who went through all that?
Well, yeah, I still believe there's obviously a spot for it in hockey. I believe that I do believe that they could be a little more responsible with concussions and post-concussion, and guys they could have take care of guys after the game's done, that kind of stuff. But there's definitely a place for fighting in hockey. There always has been, there always will be, I believe. And the way that it's been phased out kind of sucks, but you know what? That's just the world we're living in now, and that's part of being in such media, and it's so much media, and unfortunately, the game is getting forced to change for the worse, in my opinion. It's faster, it's more entertaining, but I like physical hockey, and if I was to coach a team, I would have a physical team, and maybe not fighting every night, but I like a lot of hitting. And in my opinion, if you're hitting a lot, it's going to create a lot of tension during the game, and fights are going to come. So, I'm definitely don't agree with how the game is right now. I like it like it was before, a lot more physical, but who am I to say?
Yeah. But sorry, we're still working through this tech stuff. See if we get this going one more time. Hey,
There
there
we
we go.
go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, that was easy enough. Shit.
Uh-huh.
So you talk about concussions and stuff. You've had concussions over your career, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've had plenty, and like I'm right now trying to get some treatment done just to get myself feeling a little better post hockey, since I've only been done playing for about a year. Not that I'm anything wrong with me personally. I just would want to see some doctors and just make sure long term that everything is okay. But I don't blame anybody but myself, because I was the one that dropped the gloves. And I was the one that stepped on the ice. I knew my role, so it's not anybody's fault. It's my own. But I'd like to just follow up with it. Like, it's no different, in my opinion, than if someone got injured with their knee a year later, they would go to a doctor and make sure everything's better. So that way, for myself, there's nothing personally wrong. I think every hockey player or guy that played the role I did should be, when they're done hockey, they should be able to see a doctor here or there for a couple of years just to see and keep their head straight and get any doubt out of their minds from a professional, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. Is there something in the player union with the contracts now that maybe wasn't there back then?
No, not really. No, it's a touchy situation right now with all that, and I don't know the whole ins and outs of it all right now. I'm kind of working through that. I'm trying to get in touch with some people to direct me that way. But I believe everything now is catered to the player, in a sense, to get better or to get some help or just to get checked out, whatever it is. I believe it. Everybody is trying to help everybody in that situation. There's no one dodging it, or there's no one putting it on someone else. No, I think it's all everybody's on the same page with everything now.
Looking back with kind of like your health or whatever, would you do it again?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
every bit of it I would have did it. I would have liked to keep playing. That's I miss the game. I respect the game, and I wouldn't change anything for the world. I was lucky enough
get you down here in Fort Wayne.
What's that? Yeah, I
fulfill that lifelong dream.
Yeah, I would have loved to.
Hey man, we're very close friends with our coaching staff.
We know some people.
Yeah. Let them know. Tell them I'm in shape. I'm in shape, ready to go.
At the very least, get them down here for some exhibition games.
Yeah.
We got a great barn, man. You'd love it.
Yeah, I hear it. Nothing better than dropping the gloves in front of a packed house and hearing them roar and getting ready to go when it's done, or coming out of the penalty box when after that 5 minutes you sit out and you go to the bench. It's probably one of the best feelings in the world, knowing that you just stuck up for your team and the fans are loving it.
Would you rather do that at home or than on the road? On the road,
didn't matter.
Didn't matter. A little more promising, or I mean, a little bit more
satisfying.
I guess it depends if you win or not. If you lose, you don't want to do it at home, right? No, yeah. You know what? I lost more fights than I probably won, but in my opinion, as long as you're showing up and doing your job, then it doesn't matter. In my opinion, anybody that just shows up and drops the gloves, I respect in every sense of it.
God, you'd have loved our team last year, man.
Yeah.
This season that should be still fucking going.
Yeah.
So speaking of penalty box, we asked Janny this. Let's see what yours is. What's the most interesting moment you ever had in the box with a fan or, an attendant or anything?
I had nothing off the top of my head. No, I think maybe me and Mike Scroy used to have a chirp. We threw a couple water bottles at each other when he was playing in Albany, but I was probably usually too tired and just happy to get out of the fight alive. I didn't want to keep going and starting it off.
That's what Jansen said. He goes, I'm in there and I'm so spent.
Yeah, that's what he told us about taking off all of his gear and everything.
Yeah. What did he tell us? He was like, I needed 8 hours, not 5 minutes.
Right.
What was your least favorite barn to play in?
What was least favorite barn? Like as in the hardest barn?
Yeah, what was the barn you just looked at on the schedule and went, shit, I hate that place?
Any level.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Going into probably going into Binghamton, to be honest. Because
really?
they always had a tough team, and you knew it's a shitty barn, a shitty hotel, and it's just a shitty city too. Like walking to the rink, you know you're gonna fight McGrattan, or you know you're gonna fight whoever else, or Chris Neal, or whoever, Danny Bois. Like you just know you're in one, and then you got a 5-hour bus ride back to Philly with ice your face or your hands, and they were good. Usually beat us every time we played in Binghamton too when I was with Philly. So that would probably be one that I didn't really like going and playing in.
What was it like playing overseas in the KHL and the VHL?
Oh, the VHL is probably some of the worst arenas you ever seen. And you're better off to play a pond hockey or some of them. They're pretty shitty. But the KHL, it was good. My owner was a mob boss on my first team, and he was pretty crazy. And we were like human toys to him. So we'd be losing going into this third period, and he'd come down and he'd say, "Josh, fight him, fight the goalie. Brendan Sugden, fight him." And he would just come in. If you don't do it, you don't get paid. It was kind of sucks. Like that was the first year I was playing in the KHL with that team. And then I went to another team after that, and that was professional, and they were good. But the first year with Vitez is with the mob guy. His name was Nikolai, and he was an awesome guy. He never treated me bad. He treated me great. Everything was he was a man of his word, but he loved his fight. He loved watching fights, and that's it. He would bring his imports in. We're mostly fighters, Darcy Barreau and Brendan Sugden. So it was we had a bunch of meets, and Chris Simon was there, but me and Chris, we got to play a little bit, and they sent Darcy and Brendan out to fight most of the nights. So we kind of got away without having to do it most nights. But yeah, that owner was pretty crazy. That's for sure.
I've heard stories about the Russian gas. Do you get any of that?
Oh yeah, they're every team has the doctors. It's either a mask or they give you some injections. So I don't ask questions. I just take it. But I'll tell you, I felt pretty good while I was playing over there. I came home with a beach body, that's for sure.
You didn't get to bring any of that home with you?
No, I didn't. No, unfortunately. But yeah, they're pretty. The stuff that they get away with over there, it's normal to them. So, you know, like come around after training camp, everybody's in the trainer's room with either like IV bags in their arms, just getting whatever it is they're giving you. I'm not sure.
You just don't have questions.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
Yeah. If you're not taking it, you're behind because everybody else is taking it.
So what you're saying is there's no piss tests over there?
No, very, very, very little. And if they are, they know it's all coming. And you know what? I haven't been over there in a few years, so it could have been changed. But I don't think it's much is changing with the way the trainers and everybody give and hand out stuff there. I don't think much is changing.
So I've heard some stuff about that. There was one team this year that the owner brought a tiger into the locker room.
Oh yeah. That kind of stuff happens. Our owner would bring in a bunch of guns with all his mob guys, and he would shoot the ceiling. Like he's crazy. And he would come in. There was one game against Omsk. I think it was a rival team, and he came in with a big bag of cash, put it right on the table in the middle. You win, you guys get this. It probably ended up being $3,000 or $4,000 per player. I think it was just to win the game.
That'd be all right. Yeah,
so like that kind of stuff, it's normal over there. It's the only way you can get some of those Russians to play is if you show them some money. If not, they're checked out.
Jesus. What about the European League? You played in the EIHL a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, that was pretty much my last stop before coming over back to South Carolina. But it was all right. The travel sucks. The league's pretty good, but traveling 10 hours on a bus and playing that same game same day, I say fuck that. I'm not I'm too young, I'm too old for this shit. But there wasn't, when I was there wasn't too many guys that were tough guys over there at that time. I missed it, thankfully. The year before they had Rosehill, McGrattan. I think Janney was there the year before that. Like so I missed it the year after. There wasn't much fights when I was there. I think I maybe fought once or twice there, and then maybe 30 games. So but,
not bad.
Yeah, it was good for me at the end of my career. But back in the day, that those leagues used to have a bunch of guys. That's the fans love it. But they don't do much anymore over there now.
What was it like with the soccer hooligans in the seats over there?
What's that? Sorry.
How was it with the soccer fans and stuff like that style?
Oh yeah, it is a bit like that. They're chanting. The fans are great. Where I was in Glasgow, the fans were awesome, and pretty much everywhere in Europe, most fans they're like chanting. They have support group. Like it's pretty fun place, pretty fun atmosphere. Finland is probably the best for that. My time in Finland was probably the best time I had over there, and they play mostly like North America, as close as North American as you can get. A lot of hits, a lot of fighting over there, and they treat you really well. Finns are awesome.
Yeah. Was it still the big ice though?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it's a little less hitting, a little more skill, but those Finns, they play hard.
Yeah. I've seen several good Finn teams come to the Olympics and stuff.
Yeah.
What's your best Calder Cup memory?
Oh, just winning it in Philly, but I think we were at a party and Tony Bose, I don't know if you guys know this name, but he idiot. So he lit fireworks out of the Calder Cup bowl and stained the Calder Cup bowl like black. Like it was pretty bad. So I don't know if they ever got it out. I checked when the second time I won it, but they were obviously made a new cup bowl, but this thing was completely wrecked. So that's just a memory from when we were partying, and we were at the party. We woke up and the Calder Cups. We got a life jacket on, swimming, like just floating around in the pool. When we wake up in the morning, we just no respect to the cup. It seemed like after, but I was just being fools. But yeah, but to winning it in Philly when we won my first championship there, we ended up playing in the Wachovia Center and it was sold out. I think it was 10,000 people the night we won it, and it was an incredible feeling. And the fans there, that was the lockout year, so it was a really big deal in Philly. So it's pretty cool place to win a championship, that's for sure.
Is there anything that would make winning it one time better than the other for you?
No, not really. The one difference that I really enjoyed when we won it on the road was we got to, in Manchester, we won it in Utica. We got that 6-hour bus ride with the cup to go home with just the guys, and we got to party in the room, and then we got on the bus. So we got that time to just to party together as a team that we were together all season. Because when we were in Philly and when you win it at home, you got family, friends coming in the room, and then it was just a lot more special winning it on the road, in a sense that we got that bus ride to come home to and party as a group for one last time together like that. So it was pretty cool that way.
But that was a crazy bus ride.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember much of it. That's all I know.
So I got kind of an off the wall question. I don't know where it came to me.
Yeah.
If you could pick one teammate that you've ever played with and you could take him back to juniors with you and play all the way through the end of your career, who would it have been?
Like skill wise or buddy wise?
Yes.
Probably both. One,
Both?
like, hanging out buddy wise and on the ice guy.
Ben Eager was probably one of my best buddies growing up through. We had some good times. We lived together in Philly. So he'd probably be one of the guys that I would go, I wish I could have played 10 years with. It's just because we had so much fun, so many laughs, and just endless times. And now that we all grown up, we kind of have been, we talk a bit, but if you could go back, those were the best days of my life, living with those guys and having a good time. But skill-wise, if I could have played with anybody, Kyle Wellwood, he was probably one of the best players I played with in junior. And I never got to play with him pro, but the skill he had, he got me to score 30 goals in junior. So just passing me the puck. So maybe if I played with him a couple years pro, I would have a few extra goals.
That kind of goes into my other question that I always ask everybody is your favorite goal.
Favorite goal?
Most memorable.
Yeah, probably my first NHL goal, I would have to say. Or I would have to say that one, my first NHL goal.
Who was the goal?
It was Thibault, Jocelyn Thibault.
Okay.
It was in Colorado.
Did you chirp the shit out of him after you scored?
No, I was just surprised that the puck went in. And I wanted to make sure that it was a good goal. So before I celebrated, so I was more in shock. Yeah.
So if there's one thing you could change about your career, what would it be?
Probably if I could have changed anything, it would have been to stay over in North America 1 or 2 more years longer and see if I just keep chasing it and try to get back to the NHL instead of leaving so quick and chasing the money instead.
Yeah. That's what a lot of guys say.
Yeah, because you know once you're over there, you come back, you're pretty much cutting the cord on that dream. And I wish had I known what I know now, I would have liked to at least try it 1 or 2 more years with my just what I know now and to what I knew then. I thought I knew everything then, and all that really mattered was money, and I chased the dollars instead of keep chasing everything I worked for up to that point.
So throughout your career, you played a lot of places and a lot of coaches. Who's the best coach you ever played for?
Probably John Stevens.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a good teacher. He's patient. Ken Hitchcock is the same. But John Stevens was really good to me in Philadelphia, and they traded back for me when he was in the NHL, and he was a good teacher for me, and he understood it and was patient with me as well. So, and I've had some good coaches. Wayne Gretzky was a good coach in Phoenix. He's more of a player's coach. He's not as much as a teacher as those other guys that I just mentioned. But he's an awesome guy, awesome coach. Like he's been around for so long, and guys respect him, and he respects the guys. Even if someone like a plug like myself, he treated me with the utmost respect. So he was great too.
Was there much of a circus around Gretzky coaching when you were?
No, you know what? It wasn't too bad. He was, no, not really. He was good coach. We just had a really old team, and like he had to respect the older guys like Jeremy Roenick, Owen Nolan. I think if he had a little younger team and some guys that he didn't play against, might have made him a little better coach in that sense.
Yeah. So you mentioned a guy, JR. What was it like playing with him?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was a bit much at times, but he's an entertainer, that's for sure. And he was awesome to me my rookie year there, and he definitely was a good guy to look up to. We had a really old team, like Shane Doan, him, Owen Nolan was there. Who else? Comrie. Like we had Joe Bonoski, Nick Boynton. Like we had a really old team, and so there wasn't just JR that I was like watching all the time. It was Mike Ricci was there too. Like there's so many characters that JR was obviously most of the time the head of the show, but there's lots of guys that made you laugh all the time too. So
I spent a lot of time out in the Phoenix area. What do you think of that area? I mean,
I loved it. Scottsdale's awesome. Glendale kind of sucks. They unfortunately should have put the rink in Scottsdale. That was kind of a pain in the butt driving there every day. But
there's nothing out there.
No, when I was there, I haven't been out there in a couple of years, but there wasn't nothing when I was there, and we all lived in Scottsdale, so it was it was a hike to go every day, twice a day to practice and game days. It was a lot, and I think they made a mistake by putting the rink out there.
Did you check out any spring training baseball games or anything while you're there?
No, not really. I think the Dodgers that have their training there?
Oh shit!
Well, I know a couple teams do, but I might have went to the Dodgers game, Dodgers preseason spring training, but I don't really remember if it was them or the Giants or not.
Yeah. So we used to go out every year to a town called Surprise.
Okay, yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty much Phoenix.
Okay.
It's right there, but we'd always catch a Royals game or something. But we fell in love with the area. We caught a lot of Coyotes games and Cardinals game at the big spaceship.
Yeah, it's awesome out there. And they get the best of both worlds. They get good weather, golf, and hockey. So.
Oh, are you a golfer?
Not really. I go out to have some beers. I'm not very good, so I don't play with guys that are good because I slow them down. But I can drink with the best of them. That's for sure.
So you don't go out with Whitney?
No.
He talks so much shit. I'd like to see if he's really that good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's probably pretty good. I think he plays every day, but so.
Yeah, probably.
I think we would make a good golf crew.
Drinking.
Good for some. You guys, if you guys have a celebrity tournament, or not a celebrity tournament. If you guys are in a tournament, I'll come play I'll come play with you four or you three.
Hey man, August 15th.
Actually,
yeah, legitimately, we have this thing for the Comets. It's an alumni party where all the old boys come to town.
Oh yeah.
We put a big golf outing on.
Oh nice.
And it's players only. Like anybody that played pro hockey. If you want to do it, man, we'll do it.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk to Cody if he goes.
Yeah, we'll put you in with Cody. You guys can ride in a cart together.
I'll be his caddy.
God, golf club's got to be long as shit.
I'd hate to see how many beer bottles go empty that day.
I don't think we can put him in. We can't put him in one with a roof.
No, the giraffe.
No, we'll definitely keep you posted if something.
Yeah,
you're in London.
Cool.
It's not that far away.
No, not at all. No, a couple hours.
We got guys coming from Ontario or Toronto like crazy. So.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah.
So, with you spent plenty of time in the NHL, the AHL. I know you got some good stories. Got any party stories that you could share? Or
Rickie Party.
We've had some stories, man.
A couple of NHL Rickie Party. George Laraque and Jeremy Roenick, they had a bet like that JR couldn't eat. What is it? 5 of those lava cakes from Morton's.
Oh God.
So like they had a big bet. I don't know how much money was involved or whatnot, but I think JR tried to eat 5. I think he got 3, and he started like shaking from too much sugar, like from the I think his insulin levels were too high or something, and he started going in like actual shaking. He couldn't finish, so George won the bet. That was a good Rickie Party, but I had to pay for it, so it sucked.
Was there at least a good number of you rookies that year?
No, not really. I think there was only 4, maybe 3 or 4.
God,
yeah. I'm still hurting from that bill. No, I was all right. Every guy does it. I'm just happy to be in the NHL. So,
Say I've seen some rookie parties just in the coast, and they get.
Oh yeah, the coast ones are probably way better stories. But I unfortunately didn't get to do either host one or was a rookie in one. So, but I'm sure
we still got you for next year.
Yeah, maybe you never know. So you never know.
You didn't get to host one when you were in South Carolina, or was it already done?
No, they had already had it, so I wasn't there. No, but I heard stories but yeah, I think that those parties are probably a little better than the ones in the NHL because there's a lot more married guys and guys reserved there.
I've picked people up in the coast parties as a dude.
Yeah,
they were. One article of clothing from Naked, so
yeah, I believe it. I don't know.
You fought Gilleys, didn't you?
Yeah, I fought him a couple times. Yeah.
How was that?
He got the better of me. That's for sure. He's tough. He's tough, man. He throws hard and he throws lefts, and he likes to do it. He's one of those guys that love it, and like not so much myself. Like I fight because of it, but he loves it, right? and he works at it, and he hones his craft. And those guys are scary because they if you beat them once, then they're going to want to fight you again. They don't say no for an answer. So they're like pit bulls. And unfortunately, Gilly beat me up, so I didn't have to fight him too many times.
Did you played with him in South Carolina, didn't you?
No, he was gone. He was the year before me.
Oh, really?
For a couple years. When he left, it was after I went halfway through the season.
So, is there anybody that you just beat the hell out of each other back in the day or whatever, and then became teammates?
Pete Vandermeer.
Is it kind of weird when you walk into the first time?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, depends who wins the fight. I think it's more weird for the guy that wins than the guy that loses. I think. because then you never know what the guy's thinking about you.
You mentioned that you didn't exactly want to fight. That kind of became what you did. How did that happen?
It's just like this, you got to do what you got to do to stick in the league. I was undrafted, and fastest way out of the coast was the fight, and I wasn't afraid to fight. I wasn't ever say no to anyone, but I always wanted to play hockey first and make fights come to me. And unfortunately or fortunately, it worked out that way that I'd fight. And there's some guys that just love it. I wasn't a guy that loved it. I would be one of those guys that knew it was going to happen, and it was just like, let's get it over with in the first shift, so we can play hockey after. And that was mostly my mentality. If you knew you're going to fight one of those guys, like you're probably going to lose, it's just like, let's go get it done. And if you beat me, you beat me. Then I can go and play hockey after.
Yeah. Who was if you had to pick one guy that you didn't get to fight but you kind of wanted to, who would it be?
Good question.
Had to get a stumper in there.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think. It's a good one. Let's make it a different style. From if you played in the 90s, who would you want to I would have liked to fight Proby just to say you did it, but he would have obviously shit pumped me. But just to say that you just to say that you fought the king or you gave it a try, but he was my favorite guy growing up. I loved to watch. I used to watch all his videos when I was younger, and the fact that he could play and score 29 goals made it that much more of an idol for myself. But he would be a guy that I would like to fight that I didn't get a chance to. I can't even think of it off the top of my head. Sorry, boys.
Did you ever play against Ty?
Ty Domi? No, I never did. No.
Never got to play against him?
No.
I wouldn't want to fight him either.
No. Yeah. He's tough. He's really – Darcy Bro fought him, I think, in his first NHL fight.
Yeah?
I think.
God. Well, we got Rob Ray coming on not too long from now.
Oh, yeah?
And I think he fought Domi 13 times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Stupid. That's dumb.
He played with my cousin in Buffalo, so I used to watch him fight all the time. I used to go to their games all the time. I used to watch Razor fight.
He was nuts, man.
Yeah.
Another undersized guy for fighting. He wasn't really that big either.
No.
He could handle himself.
Yeah, she had definitely. He could take a punch pretty good too.
Yeah, he fought. I don't remember if I ever saw a video of him. I don't think he ever fought Proby.
I don't know. Yeah, none that I can remember anyway.
No, he just wanted Domi all the time.
Yeah.
Power to him.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Well, we don't want to keep you all night.
All right, boy.
We appreciate you coming on. If you're serious about the golf outing thing, man, though.
Yeah.
You down for partying?
Yeah, I'm always up for a weekend away. So keep me posted, boys. It was nice to chat with you guys, and I enjoyed doing the podcast with you guys. It was awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna do another one with everybody we've had on together. We'll do.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You can do that with that Zoom thing, eh?
Yeah. No, this is kind of nice. So.
Yeah. Cool. Get me and Janny on there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna happen.
All right, boys.
All right, buddy. You guys have a good one. Stay safe.
Have a good one. Yeah. Take care, guys.